Hey, what's up, guys? It's me again, and welcome back to my channel, Mayta. I know it's been a long time, but yeah, I'm sorry for that. It's just that I'm being sick and it's too cold, and I'm neglecting this channel like how Naruto's parents neglected him in my What Ifs. Yeah, that was kind of a bad joke, so sorry about that. Anyways, moving onwards, today's story: what if Naruto became radioactive? It's a dark story. I'm gonna be open up about this, and yeah, it's not good in any ways. It's just dark and dark. And one more thing, the inspiration behind this is quite simple. Last night, while on my YouTube watching content randomly, I found a video and clicked on it. Again, I know about the Chernobyl incident, the disaster that happened like in the 90s. I kind of watched, the small compiled video on it and on the elephant's foot, and from there on it was like a rabbit hole all over again, going deep into it. And so this dark idea was born from there. So I get it, it's not for everyone, but those who watch it or dare to watch it, do let me know in the ends what you guys think and what's your feedback. Anyways, enough of me yapping. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and follow me on my other channel as well for more content. And without any further ado, let's begin with our today's short movie. Our story begins 8 years after the QB attack in Konoha Gakure no Sato. It was October 9th at night time. The village was lit up as if a festival was going on, and a lot of people were gathered around near the shop stalls and near the center where the huge attraction was. A play of puppets indicating the resilience as well as the courage of those who have fallen 8 years ago, fighting the Kyuubi no Yoko under the leadership of the fourth Hokage, as his stone face was lit up, indicating that he was the one hero and savior of the night, making the ultimate sacrifice. As huge populace of Konoha was busy here alongside the populace of shinobi that were keeping an eye on the civilians and other activity, the one factor that people ignored was a group of those people who were still resentful, hateful, and enraged and wanted revenge. Bloodthirsty type of revenge. And they have made a plan. A plan to torment the very reason that this night was being celebrated as it was, and reminisced the Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi no Yoko, the bane of their existence, the mockery of the sacrifice of the Lord Fourth and all those people they had lost that night. He was currently leaving the Ichiraku ramen stand, 8-year-old Naruto Uzumaki, walking back in the shadows of the alleyways towards his home apartment, because he knew that would be the only place that would be safe for the night. If he is seen by the mob, he could either get beaten or again yelled at, which he did not want it. So to avoid that, he was using the shadows and trying his best to get away. But the set group of people who were resentful, they were prepared and waiting for him. And when the right moment came, bam, they grabbed him. They didn't take him to any alleyway, no. They put him in a sack, tied up his mouth, and dragged him far, far away from Konoha, deep into the woods of the Forest of Death. Woods that were restricted even to shinobis, the younger ones. As one of the Anbu members, who was the leader of the set group who had taken the day off, then arrived. In front. Took you guys long enough. Was it so hard to take a child? Yes, it was. We had to make sure nobody was watching. The Anbu patrols, you were right. They were patrolling through the area as well. From the rooftops, we have to make sure that they didn't see us. Good. We remained undetected. The seals worked. As all of them took out a small piece of paper from their neck, the chakra suppressors, which was used by the Anbus to make sure that they were able to suppress their chakra in the midst of the enemy fields. Now, let's bring out the demon. So the sack was dropped in the center, and it was flailing as the rag was opened, and the boy, who was tied from wrists and ankle and a cloth was shoved into his mouth, came into view. He was scared, his blue eyes frantically paced around everywhere as the mouthband was taken off. Help! Someone! As before he could take out any other noise, he was grabbed by the leader in a neck choke and brought up face to face. Thrash as much as you want, boy, because we have brought you to a facility that is underground and far, far away. What facility is this, though? It's one of those facilities of Orochimaru. The bastard ran away. I was the one who ended up discovering this while I was drunk. It was left untouched, meaning that nobody is aware of this, not even the Hokage. But are you sure? Look around you. As the people looked around, there were a lot of tubes, a lot of chemicals that were still there, a lot of notes from Orochimaru. It looks like nobody, touched this place in years. This is covered in dust. Yes, and the funny thing is, I found quite a bit of something that is extremely dangerous. Follow me. As Naruto was knocked out cold with a single punch to his skull, as his head began to bleed, opening a wound mark up there. As Naruto's body was being dragged unconscious, the man brought him in front of a huge tank which had a yellow sticker marking on it. It was a blend of chemicals that Orochimaru experimented on and expanded into this container. Orochimaru himself wrote in his notes that were placed on top of it that do not touch. This chemical should not exist. What? A person like Orochimaru would say that, but don't you think it's dangerous if he says it? Said one of the members of the said man. Yes, that is the very reason why I brought it here. Because if the snake didn't want it, he didn't want it shared, why did he made it? And if he did, why did he contain it here? He could have destroyed it, no? So you mean he deliberately made this? Yes, he deliberately did, and left it here to rot. But whatever it is dangerous, especially to touch, especially to be even near it. And we are gonna throw this bastard in. What is this? It's a core, he says. Whatever it means, I do not know. Just throw him in. Open the lid from above. You, go there. Tenshi. As the said man, Tenshi gulped and went up, opening the rotating cover lid. And after doing so, a huge amount of steam came up. So much so that the man instantly began to feel the burn and fell down. Stop screaming, Tenshi. You're fine. No, it burns. Help me. Please, someone. Please, help. Silence him. What? But he's on our side. If he's gonna keep on screaming, someone will hear. God knows how many Anbus are here in the Forest of Death as well. You want someone to find out about this? Either it's him or all of us. Don't you want revenge? A little bit of sacrifice is necessary. As suddenly, the person went and choked him with his hand. After a lot of gurgling sounds, the man stopped thrashing. As they looked towards him, I did it. Good. Now it's time to end him. Sayonara, demon. As the man threw him up the container and then used the shadow clone to shut the lid down. As the clone poofed away, they all looked towards him and smirked. It's done. What about him, though? We can't just leave him here. Let him rot here. I mean, nobody's gonna find this place. And so, that is what they did. They all left, tightly sealing that place, but unaware that the container began to glow. And also, the body that they left to rot, his face began to peel off, and so did his skin, one after the other. A month passed after the celebration of the Kyuubi defeat. Hiruzen Sarutobi, the third Hokage, who was unfortunately made the Hokage again after the death of his successor 8 years ago, was walking throughout the streets of Konoha and arrived at an alleyway in which the shop owner came out forward. Oh, Hokage-sama. Tenoichi-san. I know that I owe you the pay for Naruto's ramen bowls. I hope it's not that much piled up. That's the thing. It's been a month since Naruto showed up here. What? What do you mean by that? Said Hiruzen as his smile fell, and so did his demeanor of being a cheerful person. That is what we're worried about. He hasn't been showing himself anywhere. I went to his apartment, but it was locked. Dust is collecting in his stuff. She saw through the window. What? As immediately after that, Hiruzen dashed at shinobi level speeds there as Anbu rushed after him from the shadows. Break the door. as one of the Anbus wearing the Inu mask did so immediately, and inside everything was covered in dust. For a month it seems nobody was here, said Inu as he rubbed his fingers against the furniture that had collected dust. As Hiruzen's eyes narrowed, what does this mean? This could only mean that Naruto, something happened to him. Anbu went go out and track down Naruto and find out what happened. I want information by the evening, said Hiruzen as all of the Anbus dispersed and left, as he stood there, thinking with a worried expression, be safe, Naruto. While on the other side, in the same lab, Naruto, his body was transforming. Thanks to his Uzumaki genes that were able to adapt to each and every sort of pain and heal through it, his body was adapting to whatever it was in that container. And all that liquid was being absorbed by his blood, turning him into a different being altogether. Naruto's hair had turned green. His eyes also have turned green like radioactive material. But he was in hibernation, asleep, a walking destruction. The man outside, his body, it was now skeletons. His skin, clothes, everything, even the intestines have peeled off and were now a puddle of black goo around him, rotting. All the while, the world was unaware of what kind of destruction was set by Konoha. As by the evening, the culprit was found. Because of the drunkard civilians spewing out what they have done and how Tenshi had died, they begin to investigate, and the Anbu, Hiroshi, was found the culprit. You, Hiroshi, you have been dismissed after you let your team die and ran away like a coward, and was later disbanded. Why and what did you do this to Naruto? The demon was the reason why I was made into a coward in the first place. He is the cause of this. No, he isn't. Your own cowardness was. Your own guts couldn't handle the life of a shinobi. When the real threat came, real men fought while you ran away like a bitch you were. So tell me, for God will hold me responsible for what comes after if you don't. What did you do to Naruto? I took him to a lair of Orochimaru. Bullshit, all of the Orochimaru lairs have been compromised and under our watch, except for one. One of his lairs, it was completely sealed off. I found it by accident while being drunk. And in it I found a container with a few notes on it. What notes? And so, the Anbus brought in the notes that he had kept. These ones. As reading those notes, Jiraiya couldn't understand something. I have to contact Jiraiya for this. And so he did. While he did so, he looked towards the man. You are going to pay with your life. Please, I told you everything. I didn't mean to do this. You did. Like how you didn't mean to run away, but you did. Back then, even now you did. When was this? On the night of the Kyuubi festival. For a whole month? As Hiruzen stared towards one of the Anbus, who looked towards him with a worried expression in his eyes. What could this mean? He could be dead. I knocked him out and he was bleeding and then threw him in a container that literally burned one of the people. What? As Hiruzen killed him then and there. Find this facility this instant. And so the search for the facility began. But Konoha had made, alongside Hiruzen, a grave mistake. They have killed the man who could lead them to that place. In a fit of rage, Hiruzen has executed him, and in doing so has lost the path. And now the only person who could lead him there was Jiraiya, who could connect to Orochimaru. Once Jiraiya returned, he was immediately informed of what has happened. Jiraiya went out immediately, but while this was going on, and the search for Orochimaru had begun, who was also on high alert thanks to his own spies, that something was going on in Konoha regarding one of his labs, and he was on the hunt. Jiraiya was on the hunt for him. He has hidden himself deeper. While Naruto, he has woken up in an empty container, laying down without any clothes. His hand touched the metal tube that he was laying in, And then the thing melted from a green huey glow as Naruto walked out, leaving a huge crater in which he was laying in, continuously burning deep and deep into the earth because of his body's radioactivity levels. Immediately as he stood out, everything began to melt and turn into normal mush. "I have to get out of here," said Naruto. And so he did. As soon as he climbed out, he placed his hand on a nearby tree, panting heavily. As he realized that he was naked, he looked around but couldn't find anything. So, while being naked, he ran away as fast as he could and continued to hide deeper into the woods, leaving a trace of destroyed nature and a lot of radioactivity that leaked out. Immediately afterwards, Konoha began to see a surge of a lot of people who were getting sick, and they were feeling symptoms of headaches, nausea, and bleeding from their body out of nothing. And then some of the people who were near the forest or went there, they began to feel their body and skin peel off, especially the Anbus who had unintentionally jumped on top of the facility. And so, while this went on, Hiruzen informed Jiraiya of what was going on, and they needed to search for Orochimaru faster, because whatever was unleashed, it was unleashing hell. And it was through the spy network that was within Konoha of Orochimaru that he found out, and was himself scared. "Oh no. What is it, Orochimaru-sama? We have to meet Jiraiya." And so through his own clan, he was able to contact the Toads, and a neutral ground was formed, as Jiraiya and Orochimaru, after years, came face to face. "It's been a long time, Orochimaru. Now is not the time. We need to go back to Konoha and fast. We need to make something like a shield to protect Konoha and the rest of the elemental nation because of what has unleashed." "What do you mean by that?" "It's about Naruto and your lab. I did not knew it was that lab." "What do you mean by that?" "I fear if it is that lab, then not only Konoha, but the rest of the elemental nation will die out in mere month, weeks, God knows, within days. Wherever that boy will go, destruction and death will follow. We have to destroy him. If he survived. I have to go and see for myself." Orochimaru arrived, and he met with council as well as Hokage of Konoha. "What is the meaning of this, Jiraiya? Why is he here? Look, can we skip this bullshit, because this is important. The fate of the elemental nation now relies on one question that I have in my head. And that is it that lab?" "What lab, Orochimaru? These notes were..." "Oh no. Oh dear God," said Orochimaru as he rubbed his temples and fell down. "I thought I erased everything, every ounce of trace about that damn thing. That damn container." "What container?" "It contained the melted reactor fuel." "Reactor fuel?" "It was a project for infinite power from science. But it was too dangerous. Too dangerous for everyone, for nature, for air, for water, for even us humans. It could kill everything. Skins peeling off, blood bleeding, all that." As Orochimaru explained, the dread on Konoha and the council increased because they realized these were the symptoms that their patients were feeling. "Kill them all. Lock down the doctors and avoid touching them at all costs because they are infected by radioactivity." "What is that?" As Orochimaru explained the science behind this, they all became dreaded. So you mean to say that, yes, that thing needs to be covered, sealed away properly, because if it continues to leak, death will follow. Within a week? Days? Month? I don't know when, but it will. We need to bring in Tsunade as well, Jiraiya. And Orochimaru, you have been granted a bail for the time being, and you need to work on this. For the sake of humanity. You need to inform the other villages. And fast. And I need to go and see the site. But what about... I know how to counter them. The countermeasures that I need to take. As Orochimaru before entering made 1,000 shadow clone layers on top of him and entered. As Soon as he did, each and every layer began to break, and he had mere seconds. He observed and saw and took pictures as much as he could, and after that he escaped and went straight towards the purifying zone where a lot of water and sanitizer liquid that he created was sprayed onto him. As after that Orochimaru was certain that he was under radioactive, he entered the tent in which the Hokage and the others were made. It's as I feared. What? The boy, as you said, was in Uzumaki, and his cells adapted, even to the radioactivity. God knows how. But they did. It worked. He has become the first radioactive person to ever live. It's all good in that Naruto is alive, but where is he? I do not know that, but he is a walking, talking, radioactive bomb, sensei. And as soon as he goes to some place and stays there for even an hour, the whole land will turn barren. We need to find him, track him fast. But know this, whoever tracks him, he will die out a worse death than anyone could imagine. And so Hiruzen was in deep thought, and so was Jiraiya. It was a job that was needed to be done. There was too much on the line, and so a council meeting was called in which Orochimaru explained to them what is on the line and what is going on. Danzo literally grabbed his head. This was a disaster, worse than the QB attack, and it was caused by the people of Konoha. By him, because he was the one who leaked out the information. We need someone to find him, right? It will be me. Danzo, are you insane? Said Koharu and Homura. I don't think you're set out for this, old friend. No. As you know it, I'm not that innocent. Ruining Naruto's life, I was the one at fault at that. The one who leaked the information. The one who made the people aware, and inadvertently, the one who led to this all mess. I want to go out alone. With my root Anbus. The most trusted men. The rest, they will be freed and under the Hokage's orders, while those who are loyal to me, they will follow me and track him down. And once we do, we will confront him as best as we can. You would have at least 3 minutes before you die out after melting inside out, Danzo. I understand. Explain to him what has happened to him and what needs to be done. He needs to be contained, because if that doesn't happen, the whole elemental nations would be dead. Don't try to kill him. Don't try to do anything, because that wouldn't work and that would only piss him off. And we don't know what would happen if that happens. I understand that. And so Danzo left, fully prepared. And he and the Root Anbus begin their tracking expedition from the very same place where all of this mess has increased. Half of the population of Konoha was dead by then. The other half worried and even avoiding one another like pariahs, because they were fearful. The shinobis were working overtime. Thanks to Orochimaru and Tsunade who was there, those who were dying were minimized. They were able to live, but with amputations and a lot of defects that were caused by the radiation. As Orochimaru stood there while Danzo was away, I shouldn't have done this. If I could go back in time, I would kick myself, because mixing those chemicals and uranium, all those elements, I did not know it would lead to this. My pursuit for power has created this monster. This disease that is spreading out, Sensei. You were right. Look, I understand that you feel guilty of what is going on, Orochimaru. Guilty? I am the one who is a part of this all. If I hadn't created or just damn sealed and hid that somewhere else, this would have not happened. That damn container in which Naruto was thrown in, that poor boy. I'm sure of what has happened to him is like this. As he began to draw out on the whiteboard that was nearby, his body, its cells, its fibers, everything melted down. But the Uzumaki gene couldn't. It began to fight, and thanks to the Kyuubi's chakra trying to survive and pump in, his body evolved, began to adapt, and then throughout the month, his cells broke, fought, and broke and adapted. That is how his body turned and began to absorb the radioactivity and formed around it. So Naruto's body just adopted it and absorbed it Yes, something that should not be possible was done because of his Uzumaki genes. That is why I said Uzumaki and Senjus are special because of their very genes. People think those clans were not a threat, but Iwa, Kumo, and Kiri knew better. That is why they were all executed. And Naruto was survived because of his mother. Poor Naruto. Did he? I don't know, Sensei. The pain is immense. You tell me, how does it feel to be burned alive and then ripped and destroyed molecules to molecules and then being repaired again and again? Sounds horrifying to me, said Jiraiya. The boy went through that. He's scared, he's hiding, he doesn't know what is happening, but he needs to be somewhere. While on the other side, Jiraiya was alerted through his toad that was kept watching on Danzo from a distance that Danzo had made contact, and he has entered a cave in which Naruto was still hiding. He felt weak, but he was adapting. You! Stay away from me, I don't know what's happening to me, said Naruto to Danzo. It's alright, Naruto. I am Danzo Shimura, an elder from Konoha. Yujiji sent me here. Jiji? Can you take me to him? Unfortunately, no, Naruto. What? Are you with those people? That you tried to... No. Those people were already dealt with. It's been a long time, Naruto. You've transformed because of what has happened. What is going on with me? Whatever I touch dies, melts, and it's gruesome. Don't come closer. I might end up killing you as well. I'm already dead, Naruto. What? No, I only have a few minutes, so please listen to me carefully, because after that I might die. As Danzo was already bleeding from nostril of his... You're bleeding. That isn't important, Naruto. You fell into a container that was made out of radioactive material, a fuel for a reactor that Orochimaru created. It's dangerous, so much so that it can kill anything it touches, including human, nature, world itself in general. Half of Konoha's population after you left has died already. As Naruto was shocked. What? I caused this all? It's not your fault, kid. You have two choices now. What? How can I stop this? It's a confinement. A container, like the one you were thrown in, made specially for you. Or it's death. But we can't kill you, or so am I told. Just end me, said Naruto without hesitation. What? What are you talking about? End me as I stand here, because if that is what I'm gonna do, I'd rather die. I don't want to hurt people. I don't want to become a monster they call me as. I don't even want to become this. I know it's unfortunate that it's come to this, Naruto, but I would respect your wishes. Danzo took out a kunai and closed his distance with Naruto, but as soon as he reached near Naruto, his body turned into a literal skeleton, and a single slash appeared on Naruto's skin, from which a green gas erupted and spread out everywhere. What the? What is happening? But by the time it was healed, enormous amount of it in the form of a fog surrounded a forest that died immediately, and the toad escaped narrowly and informed what has happened. Damn it, Danzo, I told you not to do this. Naruto is afraid, but he is aware now, said Orochimaru. I need to go there. No, you're needed here. Then a blood clone. That would do. But it would die out faster than you imagine, Orochimaru. With the same 100 layerings, it will give us enough time to speak to him. And so that is what Orochimaru did, sending out a blood clone and contacted Naruto. While doing so, the elemental nation itself has been made aware of what was going on, and they were beyond pissed, royally so, because their whole livelihood and their lives were in a threat that dangled like a sword over their neck, only a few inches away. And so a Kage summit was called, and Hiruzen was informed to rush there. So he did, while leaving Jiraiya, Tsunade, who was urgently rushed back because of the seriousness of the situation, and Orochimaru, who was looking into this. While Naruto was contacted by Orochimaru and guided to remain in a place so he could study and learn how to counter and contain Naruto instead of killing him, because trying to harm him would only cause toxins to release that would destroy everything. Naruto agreed and listened and remained in that forest that was made into an off zone. Konoha's forces placed seals that were designed by Orochimaru, Tsunade, as well as Jiraiya, working together to contain it, and so Naruto was told to stay within. While this happened, Orochimaru's blood clone visited every day for more knowledge. Hiruzen finally appeared in front of the other Kages. What is the meaning of this, Hiruzen? What has Konoha done? Why is there a sword dangling on our necks? It's all fault of one few people of Konoha that led to this. Hiruzen explained thoroughly from the beginning to the point that was they at what has happened. So this Naruto boy, the unfortunate soul who had gone through this much pain and is now the source of all this destruction. You contained him. Yes, but not entirely so. We have barely contained him. The seals are working overtime and would last only a month. After that, new seals needed to be made. Jiraiya took 2 months to make them. He's working overtime with other seal masters. We will also supply our own. But we need to do something about this boy. That is what we're looking into. We could try to kill him. I can use my particle style. No. It would only increase more trouble. Damaging Naruto's body releases toxins that could kill anything, including a forest and its living beings, in seconds. That is dangerous. If he touches the shores of the Kirigakure, we're done for. Even our lands. So we all come to a truce for the time being? Yes, we all do. We don't need your help. Just stay there and send out only the seal masters and some of your envoy units to keep observation and eye so that you know what is going on. Alright, we will trust Konoha on this and know that you would make proper decision because not only your lives, the lives of the whole elemental nation depends upon your hands. We are aware. And what about this boy? Is he cooperating? Of course he is. He's scared. He is cooperating. That boy, he has been through enough. We don't want to harm him. Contain him, maybe. Not harm him at all. While on the other side, an organization was in a pinch. Akatsuki, whose goal was to gather each and every Biju and revive the Ten Tails for their Moon Eye plan, was foiled. It could all be a hoax. Konoha needs a new peer stunt, maybe, to revive itself. It has been falling off quite badly for the past few years. That may be true, but what if this is real? Said Pain, as the others also looked towards him and nodding in agreement, as from the shadows the masked person that spoke. Real or not, we all will go there, in that forest, and see for ourselves. It's dangerous. We are the danger. Not in danger, Zetsu. And so they all arrived. As soon as they did, they began to approach Naruto. And there, they stood for a mere few seconds when she collapsed. And then, one after the other, they begin to do so. Zetsu literally began to overreact and exploded in a black goo everywhere that began to hiss and boil and turn into literal smoke. And then they realized the threat they have stepped into. And they were not the danger, but were in danger. As Naruto came out, What are you all doing here? Do you want to die? Get out of here! I'm dangerous! Said the 8-year-old boy, whose hair and eyes were green and skin a little bit lime-ish, as Naruto pointed towards them to leave, but released so many particles that pierced through them like bullets, killing them there. No! Not again! Naruto, said Orochimaru's clone that arrived. Be calm. They were here to harm you. What? I know about them. They're Akatsuki. They were here to kill you or take your Biju. The people that you mentioned. As Naruto looked towards their cloaks, the red cloud patterns that were dissolving. You're right. Stay still, Naruto. We're still making something. A suit. I have an idea. It will wrap around your body, containing your toxicity within. You can walk around, but unfortunately, for only a few hours. After that, you have to return to your confinement. Just stop this pain, please. I don't want to kill and harm anyone. And so, Orochimaru apologized and began to work tirelessly. It took 8 to 9 more months, and by that time, the forest was literally black, ash black. Everything was barren and destroyed, in which Naruto was contained at. Everyone in Konoha and Elemental Nation held their breaths as Orochimaru placed the suit on top of Naruto through the clone, and then Naruto was told to step out. As soon as he did, there stood Hiruzen and the others wearing their own protective gear. "Naruto," said Hiruzen, as Naruto within that huge thick suit stood there. "I'm here, Gigi. I I don't know if use the meters." As the radiations that were emitting from near the suit was already dangerous enough, but bearable for only 10 to 15 minutes. "We can only stand here for 10 to 15 minutes approximately. After that we too will feel a dangerous dosage of radiation. I don't want to harm anyone." We prepared a sarcophagus over the place where my lab was. "You can remain in it, and through a slide we can send in a lot of letters as well as things you might need to stay there." "I'm sorry for causing this pain." "I'm so sorry, Gigi. Everyone." "It's alright, Naruto. It's alright. It wasn't your fault. It was ours. I will explain everything to you, but you need to go there." And so Naruto was led there, and then the sarcophagus was sealed completely. It was a huge metal and cement beam and shield that was made to contain it for more than 50 years, and after that a newer and bigger one would be needed. But for the time being, the Elemental Nation in Konoha could breathe. A lot of cameras were installed within to keep Naruto in view so that he could see them and they could see him. As through a camera, Hiruzen spoke, now without his suit. "Naruto, my dear boy, I'm so sorry, but this is the only choice. I know, Gigi. I don't want to harm anyone. I think I will learn and try to control this power. Is this possible?" said Hiruzen, looking towards Orochimaru. "We can try. I need to be here 24/7. I need to make things right. I am the one who left it here, and fools discovered it and used it to ruin a life and destroy so many. A disaster that is worse than the QB attack or any other war. Yeah. We need to make sure things are right, at least for him." And so that is what they did. They remained there, continued to observe. It took years as Naruto reached at the age of 16, and by that time, the sarcophagus door was opened for the first time. And Naruto, he was let out. As he took a step out, nothing died. His hair was faint green and his eyes were faint green as well. His skin not lime anymore, but the tan as it was supposed to be. As Naruto smiled and touched Orochimaru's hand, as both of them were being observed by the meters. "No radiation at all," said Jiraiya as Tsunade with a smile. As Hiruzen hugged Naruto, "You're back, Naruto." "Yeah, I am, but Kurama said that only for an hour is more than enough, right? For now it is, but I will continue to train and get my life on track." "Yes, you will." And once this news spread, at first the Elemental Nation was cautious, but they realized the boy was really improving. They Kages themselves visited and experimented, and they were shocked, and yet kind of admired Naruto's courage, and felt bad for him for how bad Konoha treated him. Konoha, the remnants, they feared Naruto. But more than that, they fear ignorance. Because of that, this had happened. And they also felt guilty for ruining Naruto's life. Jinchuriki or not, he was still an innocent boy who had gone through hell and unintentionally, because of them, caused so much death and destruction. And this, all of this, they knew was on them, and that Anbu that led all of this to happen. All the while Naruto, he was slowly but surely regaining his life back on, the new power that could literally destroy the whole Elemental Nation. As this is where I will be leaving the short movie off, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one, and if you did, then make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and follow me on my Apollo Uchiha channel as well. And yeah, I know this was dark, but this was needed to be done. So yeah, now my curiosity is well settled, and I hope you guys enjoyed this as well. Enough said. Without any further ado, this is it for the day. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.